Hi everyone, I'm Ria, and in today's video I'm going to be doing another first impressions demo and wear test on the brand new Power Play foundation from Cover FX. And if you'd like to hear my thoughts on this foundation, see some comparison swatches of foundations that I have in my collection already, watch me check in throughout the day to see how this foundation wears and hear my final thoughts on this foundation, then please continue to watch. So this is what the outer box looks like, and the foundation itself looks like this. It is pretty small, and here is the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless just for a size comparison. So the Fit Me is a little bit taller, but it claims to have 1.18 fluid ounces of product. It is a plastic container, and when you twist open the top, it is a little squeezy tube. So very similar to the Marc Jacobs Shameless foundation, except that one was a little more aesthetically pleasing, but I don't mind this one that much. I mean, the price is pretty expensive. It was $52, which is pretty much in line with Cover FX's pricing. And the foundation is actually meant for people who have combination to oily skin, which I don't have either. My skin is pretty normal, and at the moment it is a little bit dry, so I'm interested to see how this wears throughout the day. I picked up the shade G plus 40, and I love that Cover FX has 40 different colors to choose from, and they have golden tones, they have pink tones, and they have neutral undertones, and they also have the G plus shades, which are foundation shades that have a lot more olive in them than just the golden tone. I have quite a bit of texture going on around my lip area, so good time to test the foundation since I do have some texture. I'm gonna move into the swatches of foundations that I have in my collection that are similar in shade and undertone, just so you can get an idea of what this foundation might look like on you. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to shake up the foundation really well, and I'm going to squeeze out some onto the back of my hand. Probably about like, I'm going to just do a pump of foundation, and you can really control how much you put on. So I'm going to start with this much foundation, and as you can see, it doesn't really like run down my hand or anything. It's a little bit of a moussey texture, and it doesn't have any scent to it. So I'm gonna do one half of my face with a brush, and I'm gonna do the other half of my face with a damp beauty blender and see which one I like better. I have already moisturized my skin with this Coconut Skin Smoothie Priming Moisturizer, and I also used the Marc Jacobs Coconut Primer, and the reason for that was because the foundation is targeted to people who have combination to oily skin, and because I have normal skin, which is actually kind of dry right now, I wanted to give the foundation the best chance it had, so that's the reason why I use the Marc Jacobs Coconut Primer. And I'm going to start off on this side of my face with the brush. I'm going to use my Sephora number 47 brush. I really like this brush. Color is a little bit light for me, just like a little bit. But once we put all our other products on, it should be alright. It's blending out really nicely, but I can see also that it dries pretty quickly because some parts look like they've already dried a little bit. It looks like it's light to medium coverage right now with just the half a pump of foundation. And it has like a really nice coverage and finish, even though it's a light to medium coverage right now. Oh, this is what the foundation looks like. One side with foundation, and the other side has no foundation on it. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do this side of my face now with a beauty blender. I have a feeling I might like it a little bit more with the beauty blender, just because it dries so quickly and because it's catered for people who have more combination to oily skin, which I don't have. So let's see. Okay, so with the Beauty Blender, I would say the coverage is about the same as with the brush. I don't see any significant difference right now anyway. The Beauty Blender is giving it a little more luminosity, so it's not as matte as it was with the brush. But the coverage is still about the same, I would say. And it's not caking like around my nose at all, so that's good. I really like the finish of it. I really like that it covers, but it still looks like skin. I'm gonna go ahead and try to build it up a little bit because it is said to be medium to full with a buildable coverage. So let's see what it's like once I build it up. For me, with the second layer, it's definitely a medium coverage at this point. And this is all of the coverage I would need for myself. So I think that it builds really nicely and it's covered up. I have a little bit of a dark mark here and like a couple down here, and it's covered it really nicely. And I would say that it is emphasizing a little bit of texture, especially around my mouth, but nothing too bad at this point anyway. This is what it's looking like so far. I'm really liking how it looks. So my plan is to wear the foundation for at least 8 to 10 hours. I will do a check-in around the 6-hour mark, and then I'll do another check-in maybe around the 10-ish hour mark and see how it goes. Right now it is almost 12 o'clock. All my other makeup applied pretty well on top of the foundation. I didn't even end up having to set it because by the time I went in to actually apply my bronzer and my blush and stuff, the foundation had already set to the point where I could even touch it, and I don't even feel like I have anything on my face, which is so incredible. It's such a weightless feel, and with one layer it looked very natural. Definitely something I could consider wearing day to day if it does hold up well throughout the day. But so far I'm really pleased with this foundation, but I'm curious to see what it's going to be like at the end of the day, so hang tight. Hi guys, I'm back for the 6-hour check-in. It's now 6:27, so just after 6 hours, and the foundation is holding up pretty well. I have noticed a little bit of dryness in this general area right here. The foundation has definitely settled into my smile lines. And everywhere else on the face, like my blush, my bronzer, my highlight, everything looks the same. I did kind of overdo it on the nose highlight today, so that's why it's looking like that. That was user error, definitely not the foundation's fault. But everything else is looking pretty much the same, and I do still have dryness showing over here where I have that little bit of texture. But other than that, I think it's looking pretty good. Hi guys, I'm back with my final check-in of the night. It is now 10:21, and the foundation pretty much looks the same way it did at the last check-in. In fact, the smile lines that I set down using the Beauty Blender, they actually didn't, the foundation didn't resettle into the smile line, so it still looks pretty good. I do have a little bit of dryness and a little bit of fading in the chin area, but the bronzer, blush, and highlighter look pretty good. They faded a little bit, but overall this foundation looks really, really good. And one thing I want to mention, which I forgot to mention earlier, is that you can literally touch your face with this foundation on and you don't get any foundation coming off on your hands. It's definitely transfer proof. That is one of the claims of the foundation. So I wrote down a bunch of claims. It's weightless for sure. It emphasizes texture a little bit for me. It definitely is self-setting. It also has a beautiful soft matte finish, so it's not like a very matte drying finish. I would compare the finish of this foundation to the Fenty Beauty foundation, so if you like that foundation, I think that you would like this one as well, except this one feels a lot more weightless, and I think this one looks a little more skin-like than the Fenty foundation. And the last thing I want to mention is that this foundation has already released on CoverFX's website. It came out on February 15th, so it is available for purchase on CoverFX's website. I am in Canada, so I ordered on coverfx.ca, and shipping is free. I just checked it today and it's also free. I ordered on launch day, so it took a day to come, which is incredible. They ship with UPS, so just in case you were wondering. And yeah, I would definitely give this foundation a thumbs up. I really, really like it. If you have any questions, please do leave it in the comment section down below. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have. And thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!